put him on his back. Thurston, right foot kick, down the ground, into the in goal almost. Hodgson cuts it off. Hodgson taken by Norton. He took him late. Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside. Richards pursued. He pushes Johnson away.
Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of June, 2026. You're back for another episode of the Tiger Town podcast with your hosts, Zach and Toby. Zach at this end, Toby at the other, brought to you, as always, by Best on Ground Digital. Best on Ground Digital, the digital marketing agency that looks after the little guy. They will not steer you wrong. BestOnGroundDigital.com. Now, last week we were in the flesh. This week we ain't in the flesh. Mate, how are you at that end of the table?
Yeah, I'm good. Just, getting a bit nippy here in Brisbane. And for us, that's 11 degrees. So, Melbourneites might be sitting there saying different things than Sydney people, but it's all relative, isn't it? It's a bit nippy. But no, I'm good, mate. I'm good. How about yourself?
Yeah, outside of the football. Can't really complain, I guess. Just chipping away, mate, keeping busy. It hasn't really been too cold up here, to be honest with you. We've had just wet, really, which has been largely disappointing. But outside of that, mate, still vertical for the time being.
That's it. Every day you wake up's another good day. Except if you're a Tigers fan or a New South Wales fan.
Yeah, that was a rough week in a lot of ways, wasn't it?
Yeah. At least the Tigers had an excuse. New South Wales just had Laurie Daly.
Now, reasons and excuses often have overlap, I think, in a lot of situations. We won't dig up Origin. It was a while ago now, and as tends to be the case, I think when we play earlier games in the weekend, it tends to feel that by the time Tuesday evening rolls around and Wednesday for all the y'all listening, the best part of a week's gone by, mate. So it does seem a little while since the Campbelltown game against the Dolphins.
Saturday Arvo, wasn't it?
Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Yeah, mate, went down 36-22. As we're aware, 4 tries to 6. Gives a little summary of the game, mate, from your perspective.
Mate, I could probably sum it up in one little short sentence and shit luck. Like, seriously. Like, how does that happen again? How does this key positions, we get injuries and they take advantage? And they should have. But I haven't rewatched the game, so I haven't really watched it too closely. But for me, I didn't see any really horrible performances that I can call out. I just feel like they took advantages of situations. And yeah, it was... And then the refereeing, like, Ziggy's fucking shit.
Oh, man.
That was... Like, even, again, non-Tigers fans are calling him out. They're like, I'm not a Tigers fan, but my God, that guy's a bad referee. He's horrible.
Terrible. Yeah, absolutely no control of the ruck. He made a few decisions poor on both sides, in that we got a couple that we shouldn't have as well. But, mate, from the outset of that game, there's just no regulation of ruck. Markers offside. The amount of times the Dolphins walk off the mark is absurd. Yeah. Absolutely absurd. And those tiny little things compound. And this is what people don't notice at times when they think that you're nitpicking about refereeing. Is that, the forward passes. I just watched Schneider's forward pass to, who was that, Lemuelu, even though we got called for a forward pass that was backwards.
Out of their hands, yep.
Well, they score 3 tries following forward passes or something. Yeah, it was very disappointing from my perspective, like, refereeing aside, because that was a side that we should have gone out and got on top of. Like, that was an opportunity. That was a chance to go 8-6 at home against an Izzy Katoa-less Dolphins who were also missing 3 Origin players. Like, I know we're not without our own, obviously, but if ever there's a time to get the Dolphins at home, that was the time to go 8-6 with a game against Newcastle coming up this weekend and then 2 games against Dragons coming up as well, and a bit of a soft draw, quote unquote, to finish the year, we would have set ourselves up miraculously really, really well. We just, yeah, as you said, like little moments. Would Dream get held up again? I'd like to know the stat on how many times Dream Bull has been held up over the line this year. So yeah,
it gets those leaping takes, and then everyone just sort of scampers on him and wraps him up. So he just needs someone to support him to pass to as well.
Yeah, look, one of those situations again where, and I've said this a fair few times in the past. We will do things 85% correct for weeks on end, but it's a different 85 every week. Like we'll patch one hole and then something else will expose itself really poorly. All their minor little errors are being exposed and being capitalised on by opposition teams, and it seems like we're not one of those teams that tends to take our chances very often. Whereas a lot of these other more professional, well-drilled sides that are more cohesive, and yeah, you make the argument about personnel changes and whatever leading to lack of cohesion, fair enough, but just our capacity to finish off half chances or to capitalise on an opportunity is just so poor. We're so wasteful. Like we play this territory game, but then we are just wasteful with the footy. We're wasteful with our chances. We half compete on things. We just miss the mark, mate, in like 5, 10, 15% consistently. And, like I said, fair chance it's a personnel issue. But, like, we're never going to compete and we're never going to win those types of games that we should be winning unless we can learn to execute on chances and take a greater percentage of what we are. I was a little bit miffed by some of the people who talking about being a brave performance because we lost a reserve grade halfback and a reserve grade centre, and we actually replaced the centre with who we had in our back line to start the year, first choice. People forget Macassini was a pick over Herbert. Now, whether it's centres or not, at one stage, Macassini and Taylor were playing in the centres. But the Dolphins side that have been in the top four and flying was not the Dolphins side we played, and people forget that. They were missing most of their key components as well. Like I mentioned that earlier in the show, but when we spoke about being happy that the Dolphins that we put up a brave fight, losing a couple against the Dolphin side. This isn't the Dolphin side. Look, short story
I get
long.
that. I get what you're saying there, but at the same time, what you've got to realise is, yes, it's not the Dolphin side that's, their first grade side, but that's the Dolphin side that trained together all week. That's the Dolphin side that had all of their combinations at least down on paper. What we had was, a competitive team, because they were competitive for a lot of that first half, who had to have a complete reshuffle. Like I am sure that Latu was training as halfback or something, or in the halves, and then Benji gives him to New South Wales Cup, rightly for me, because he has to develop that combination with Javon. Speaking on that later, did he ever? And then Heath comes in, and Heath is, you've got two running 5/8s. You've got Macassini coming on playing. He ended up being outside Stafford? Or no, Stafford went to the centres and he went to the wing.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. I get what you're saying. It was basically a reserve grade side versus a reserve grade side.
Correct.
And so,
and we had just as many integral pieces as what they did. And so, we're missing players, and we lost players on the run, but like in a lot of ways, we're just that skinny. I'm just saying it's an opportunity lost, and that's a shame, because if we're any hope of breaking the drought, particularly given the way that fate's mucked around with us a bit this year, we needed to get these ones. We needed to win the games that we should win. In my opinion, we should have won that game on the weekend. Just simply on paper, we should have won that game. There were some good performances in and amongst it all, and largely we played some okay footy, but Yeah. It just,
Well, I mean,
just wasn't
we-
enough. I didn't like the fact they didn't take it to him enough, to be honest.
well, then again, we talk about you like I get that too, but you think about 3 of the tries that they scored, and Terrell May was at fault for not pushing hard enough. But Terrell May was absolutely exhausted because I don't think he expected to play 80, but he had to play 80. So he put in all of his effort thinking he was going to come out and get a bit of a spell, because that's basically what he's been doing for the last, 14, 15 weeks. Is coming in, putting it everything in, having a spell. But then we lose 2 of our interchanges, and we have to use. We probably didn't anticipate to use 2 backs, essentially, a back and a half. We anticipated to use 3 forwards and potentially a hooker. I mean, you had Lanyon coming in and playing, I think he was playing prop at one point. He wasn't even playing lock. So, I'm not making excuses. I'm not, but there are valid reasons of why things happened the way they happened. And I think that if,
I think we win that game if Jock and Herbert stay on the field.
I don't know if we win that game if Jock stays on the field, but I do know that we go a long way to securing that win if that decision was made correct by the bunker. How does somebody coming in with their head first knock out a halfback goes for a HIA, doesn't even get a penalty? That's been a sin bin all year. A sin bin. Like, I can count on one hand how many sin bins have happened because of a head-on-head contact because of a reckless charge, a reckless tackle. And that's what happened. It was a reckless tackle. Head-on-head collision. And he didn't get sin binned. Didn't even get penalised. Explain to me how that happens.
I don't agree.
You don't think so?
I think that was actually just innocuous contact.
Not at all. No.
From my perspective, that's what I deem it to be. And if we got penalised for it, I reckon I'd be pretty unhappy about it. I think what we've seen.
You'd be pretty unhappy that we got a penalty.
If we got it penalised against us, I'd be pretty unhappy.
But why would we got penalised against us? They're the one that went into the tackle.
The situation was reversed, Toby.
The
situation was reversed. I don't think I'd be very happy about it, because I don't see that as a player who was rushing out to put a hit on. I see that as a player who went into the line, and all that happened was the player basically braced for contact, and there was incidental head contact. You can have incidental head contact in a regular tackle and it be an accident still. And I don't think he came out for a hit. But again, we can view things differently. I certainly don't think it's as cut and dry as some people were making out. So anyway, that's just bad luck. The irony is not lost on most people. I think the fact that we've carried Latu on the bench for 8 or 9 weeks or something for this very situation, and then the moment that we drop him back to cup to get some minutes, we lose Jock 23 minutes into the game. So what I will say about Heath is I thought Heath did a pretty good job, actually.
I did too. He's just not a halfback.
He still has an exceptional ability to step into players. I've never seen someone sidestep into tacklers so often. It's like he runs towards the space and then sidestep into the defender. It's very impressive.
Yeah, I think his running game was great because that's all it was. I didn't see, that's the thing. We had 2 running 5/8s.
We got a couple of things,
very easy to. It was very easy to shut down, very easy to read when it comes to the Dolphins defenders. But again,
the other thing is too, we didn't need fragility on our edges. It was already fragile as all buggery, given the centre stocks that we're dealing with, our edge second rowers being nowhere, and the fact that we had a stand-in halfback anyway, and then it fell apart again twice in the game against one of the sides that strips numbers better than anyone. Whether they got Fuller or Hammer at the back, it doesn't really matter. They're pretty well drilled. And Nicarima played around with that a little bit, didn't he?
He did.
Lift and sink, mate.
I'm going to start with a sink this week.
Yep.
And I'm being honest here. I can't think of anyone really that stands out. My only one is, and it's not that he played bad. It's just that I just felt like he had nothing spectacular, and that's Suka. I thought Suka was average at best. I think he did he was a little bit lazy at times. You know, there was a few times he turned around to run back to the defensive line, and they took advantage of that. I think they made about 3 breaks because he did that. But he wasn't horrible. He didn't cause a lot of mistakes. It's just that I don't think anyone played bad. I just think that, he's shown that either he still has a lot more development to do in New South Wales Cup, or he's just not at first grade standard.
You love subjectively interpreting a single performance and then making grandiose statements off the back of it, eh? You're the specialist at it. I'll just go through his stats, and I know the stats don't tell it all, but he played 80 minutes, 12 runs for 125 metres, 56 post-contact, and he made 45 tackles at 95.7%. So statistically, his output was pretty exceptional.
Exactly. Stats don't tell the whole story.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't really notice that. I thought he was serviceable. I don't think he's a threat with the ball. I did think he was probably blowing a bit at times, and it was a poor bench in some ways because he's just coming back in many ways from injury, and you would like to probably have given him a rest at some point too. Speaking of what you were talking about with big minutes earlier.
But I'll reiterate. I didn't say anyone had a bad game. I just think that he's not NRL level yet in my eyes. Not to say he isn't going to be, but that's just what I view.
My sink is. Did you want to add anything else on that?
Oh, it's just because of those little minor moment things. Like, that's not NRL standard in my eyes. Like, turning your back at the defense, that's not an NRL standard. You know, that's.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I'll go back and I'll double check.
Yeah, go and have a watch.
Right, mine's Mussy, and it's not a sink as in pull your socks up and do better. It's more of a case of I think he's struggling, and I think he needs to be back playing some New South Wales Cup. Like I think his confidence is absolutely cactus. He gets belted every time he takes the ball up, and credit to him, he keeps going back for more. But his output on the weekend, statistically or otherwise, he still ran for over 100 metres. Like he still does put in when he gets the opportunity, but it just looks to me like he's a little bit shell-shocked at the moment, and it's been a big rookie season so far. If we get the people in place in the backs, and I know now with Herbert out, it's probably not the case. But if we get some players in the backs available, your Laulalis, your Tavanas, your Skelton, who's back this week, I'd be trying to get Mussy some time in Cup, honestly, and not carry him on a 19-man bench. I think he needs to go back and play a month of footy at least in Magpies, get back used to some contact, play some rough and dirty games, have a couple of little wins here and there, and get some confidence back, and then maybe look at injecting him later in the season again. He just looks like it's taken its toll a little bit on him. Might be reading that wrong, but that's my take.
Haven't really noticed it. I think he just keeps going forward and keeps trying his heart out, and I think he's just learning the little intricacies of the game more than anything.
I think so too. And like I'll reiterate again, it's not a slight. I just think he's down in confidence, and I think it would be better. I think he's somebody whose performance and confidence is sinking, I guess. And
he's a young guy. That doesn't surprise me.
I agree.
You won't get a shot this week in New South Wales Cup. They got to buy. So
they do exactly, which is good in that we'll talk about it later with Latu back in the 19. They don't screw up the opportunity to further that partnership that you alluded to earlier that we'll talk about in your Pathways Roundup. Made a lift for me.
I'm going to go the low-hanging fruit on this one because that's kind of what I do. And I'm actually going to say Romy.
I thought you were going to say Stafford.
Why would I say Stafford?
Because he was pretty solid.
Yeah, but he wasn't world beater.
Okay.
No, I'm actually going to say Romy. I thought he wasn't as impressive in the game against you had the game against the Titans, but I thought he tried his absolute heart out and he tried to lift the team with what we had.
3 tries on you.
Which is what I wanted from him all year. And I'm hoping that this is just what we're going to see now is win, lose, or draw. We're always going to be happy with Romy's performance. It's who he is now. Maybe now that all the dust has settled with the PNG shit and it's over, who cares? No one cares anymore. No one's talking about it anymore. He just gets on and he runs and he delivers the way he does. I mean, that deft kick for Sione's first try. Oh, that bounced out like straight into his breadbasket. It's beautiful. So, but then defense, I thought he was good. I thought he made a couple of good try savers. So, yeah, for me, that's Romy.
Okay. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you heard, he had 3 try assists along the way on the weekend too. So he wasn't all that quiet, and he didn't score 3 himself, but he certainly set them up, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, he was playing up tempo, and you can tell that whole put them on your back mantra is something that the last couple of games he's really found
his own. Yeah.
Well, mate, for me, look, I was going to say Stafford, but I might lean into Jareem. I mentioned Jareem a little while. I think sometimes I tend to take his grace and his skill and his class for granted a little bit. But he got up over Fuller. What did he take? 3 of them?
Yeah.
Or there or thereabouts. So every week that's a threat. He looks safe. His ball playing is still too sideways for me. The shape needs work, but is looking better. Some of his deception, he threw a little double bump at one point on the weekend.
Yeah, I saw
ooh, that was nice. Held the ball late, which was beautiful. So yeah, look, it's pleasing every 80 minutes that he's getting through. He's another week down the line in that shoulder, hopefully, being rehabbed. I don't know what the plan with all these shoulders are if the off season,
what the fuck's going on?
Whether they get to October and just go, right, our boys line up and you get. But
yeah, it's like, do we get a discount?
Yeah, like a 4-for-1 special.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll put you all under at the same time. I will know what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go.
Yeah, just link them all in parallel and
just all have the same IV drip. All have the same anesthesia.
Yeah, turbo round.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get maybe a 10% referral discount for 2 pecs while we're at it.
Yeah, Jesus. The fuck.
Yeah. So, mate. Yeah, Buller for me. It's good to have him back. And we'll talk about it shortly, but our starting spine, probably our first choice spine. I can't imagine that there'd be too many times that we would have started this year with that first choice spine, which we're looking at lining up with Dewey back this coming week. We'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah. Probably maybe 3 times from what I can remember.
3 times, you reckon?
I reckon. Are you Googling it?
I'm going to look at it right now. And right.
Did you just chat it?
Hey?
Did you just chat GPT it?
I'm working on something, mate. Don't worry about that. We'll keep the show rolling in the meantime. Mate, the Pole off the bench situation, I don't know why Benji keeps naming him in the start.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Putting Bunty in. He's worried that they're going to look at Bunty's tape, but he's done it twice in a row now, and they've named the same way this week against the Knights. I dare say that that's probably a pretty obvious ploy at this point. It works, mate. I don't know about 24 minutes for Bunty. You mentioned the injuries earlier, messing with our interchange, but it works for Fanua. And mate, they drop ball on the first tackle on going for the try.
He's got one in him every single game.
It's at the point where it's not funny anymore. Sort it out.
Because when Junior Tupou played for us, he had one every game, without fail. It's like Pole's turned into that. One without fail.
So what I've got here, Coruscant missed round 1, because he was suspended.
Yep.
So, round 1 was the bye.
Round 2 he missed because he was suspended.
He missed round 2. Luai, I think they started in round 3. Luai got injured, did his knee. Round 36. Coruscant was then suspended for rounds 9 through 11, and Dewey was out from round 9. So that would only leave the start of round 3 and maybe round 8. I don't know. That's all right. Someone can correct us in the comments. We won't.
Nah, fuck that. You keep talking. I'm gonna find this shit, eh?
Okay. Mate, look. If you go through and you have a look at the team stats over the course of this match, it's pretty relatively split in terms of possession and whatnot, 50-50. Time in possession was basically 29 minutes apiece, 80% completion rate each. Runs was comparable. They had 10 more, about 100 more running meters as well. Everything's all pretty reflective. Their line breaks were up. Set distance give us a bit of a flog in there. But nothing overly stood out. We tackled a bit higher this week at 89.3. It further iterates that they just took their chances in little opportunities and small little moments. And moments we've spoken about since the start of the year. We were winning games because we were winning moments. We were winning Sam Weller moments. We were winning Adam Dewey moments. And coincidentally, or otherwise, since we've lost Sam Weller and Dewey, we haven't been winning moments. And there's probably a few games along the way, even though there's been a couple of blowouts, that if things had have fallen differently, different universes might have yielded different results. But mate, we do get one of those key inclusions in this week. So hopefully some of those moments can start to swing in our favour if we are lucky.
Yeah. So Appy did actually play the first game against the Cowboys. Appy was there.
Was
it? So that's one.
Thought he was suspended.
That's one. He played. Luai played 30 minutes of the next game, so that can't really count. Then we played a game against the Broncos, lost in Golden Point.
You could say how many full games because that would rule out the round 9 clash and it would rule out round 3.
Then we beat then another one against the Raiders. Yeah. 3 games all year with our starting spine.
And how many of those did we win?
2.
And the other one was the Sharks game where when Dewey went down, it was 10-6.
Well, the one that we lost was against the Broncos, and we lost by 1 point.
That was with them?
That was with them. Yep.
Yeah, right. All of them?
Yeah, all in that game.
When did... Okay. All right. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah.
Play on. Mate, that's it. That's it. That's all I've got to say about the Dolphins game. Look, it's one of those opportunities I think we'll miss. Again, stuff goes awry. I wasn't very happy with Ziggy's control of the ruck and a few decisions, like the forward pass stuff, but they keep talking about how it goes your way and it doesn't go your way. Maybe I just don't notice when it goes our way because it doesn't seem to. I think in the Titans match, we got a couple of things, but they weren't match defining. And anyone that says that, I'll ask them to go back and find several examples over even the last 5 to 10 years several examples where the Tigers have won off the back of a series of dodgy calls.
I can't think of one.
Shan't be happening. Hell will freeze over.
So,
on that note, mate, it must be time. If you think it's time, I think it might be time.
Oh, it's time because we got a bit to talk about here.
Beg your pardon?
We got a bit to talk about this game.
Very Toby's Weekly Pathways Roundup.
So, yes, we're going to start with the men who had another blinder of a game, to be honest. We played the Sea Eagles, ended up winning 46-12. And this was kind of the first game I think Javon and Latu have played together in the halves. I don't think there was anything at the start of the year.
No, we were calling for it, though.
We were calling for it. And... again, another plug. I should get a subscription for this shit. Just listen to me, guys. Bar Sports TV. Watch the game and
why do you mention that every week?
Because I want people to fund me.
I don't know why you keep mentioning it.
Because I want to. You got a problem with that?
I do. I'm also asking for why.
I don't know.
Maybe
But I
why.
watched the game, and it looked as though Latu was the half, Andrews was the 5/8, and there was something there. Hey, there really was. They haven't played any games together, but there was something there.
Oh, yeah.
Latu took the line on when he needed to. Andrews really just has been braining it in New South Wales Cup and just continued that form.
He's leading in try assists and line break by about 4 or 6, I think, over Joey Walsh from Manly. You know, big Joey Walsh with all the raps.
Yeah.
He's belting him in those departments. Who's coming second? So.
Yeah, he's got 16 try assists. Joey Walsh has got 12. He's got 18 line break assists, and Joey Walsh has 12. So, yeah, he is braining them. He silky smooth. I tell you who else is really, with all the injuries we've had and everything like that, I'm quite surprised he hasn't even got a look in yet, and that is Sakuru. I think Sakuru's been playing very well in Cup, especially when he's been pushed to the centres. He's strong. He reads well in defence. Yeah, I'm very surprised. I don't know why Benji has opted not to try to push him forward, considering our stocks are very dry at the moment, but it is what it is. But yeah, there was obviously a try. Luke got a double. Tavana got a double. Attard again. I think the thing I'm loving about Attard, because really watching him closely, obviously he's not going to usurp Buller, but the thing he does that Buller doesn't is support. Attard supports the ruck very well, very well. So, and he gets back into position really quickly. So, he'll be supporting the forwards through the ruck, and then he'll, when it's his time to swing out the back, he'll get back into position really quickly. He doesn't do things by halves. At times, his positional play.
Where Attard came from was Penrith.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, and so who's he been watching and learning?
Yeah, Dylan Edwards,
the best at it, eh?
Yeah,
Teddy. It used to be Teddy. Dylan Edwards has for a long time, and I haven't watched a heap of Dylan this year, to be fair, but prior, he's been one of the best in the last 3 to 5 years about sniffing around, support play around exceptional. If there's a half break, he's there.
He's
every
there
time for Penrith, and geez, we could have used it on the weekend. Some of the things that Appy was doing, poking his nose through at times.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the one thing that I have always been critical of Buller, has been his sniffing around the ruck, his support play, things like that. I think he needs to work on that a fair bit. But Attard, he's got that in spades. I would be I think we've signed him on a 3-year contract, I think. But I would not be surprised, given that Buller's signed on pretty long term, if he's sniffed out by someone for a first grade shot soon. So, and then
we'll see what happens.
And then your boy Tatil, Peter Tatil, ended up crossing for a 4-pointer as well.
It's a good try too.
Yeah.
He's
and whatever Javon was doing against the Roosters last week with his kicking, he definitely rectified it. 7 from 8. But yeah, 16-6 at halftime, 46-12. We just ran away with it in the second half. So well done, boys.
Strong performance, and all our juniors have got a bye this weekend. Well, not all our juniors, but Flag and Cup both have byes this week.
So a bit of a freshen up, and then I don't know who we've got the week after, but yeah, it's becoming the point where I'm really enjoying watching these New South Wales Cup games. It also pushes us into the top, or close to the top 6. It's because it's top 6 for New South Wales Cup, hey?
I think it might even be top 5, hey? I have to double check.
But that the for and against is, I think we've got 100 plus for and against now in the last 2 weeks.
Well, that's helpful. I don't know what the rest of the season looks like and where the teams are coming that we're coming up against, but again, as we start to get first grade troops back, which is still a bit away, even though we've got a couple back this week, that will only then help to strengthen Cup. And we know that. I actually think, considering our Cup side has been without a few of their probably more experienced players over the course of the year, and they've had to rely on a bit of youth because it's a very young Cup side. You
It
look
is.
across the side that played on the weekend, like it's really young, from
Yeah.
Attard to Luke to
Broadlow, Jack,
Hayward,
Haywood.
yeah, like a lot of them. And yeah, so that bodes well for the future, I think. And again, it can be disheartening at times when we're losing football games and depth is being tested. You know, I've said for a while now that our depth is trying to be built from within, and you can't only do that, but it slowly is coming through. It's just they're maturing in live time. Like Sakura is an example. I don't know. I think he's uncontracted for next year. I don't know what they're seeing in him longer term, but you're not the first person to start beating that drum. That, especially given the injuries that we have, why is he not being considered? I don't know what the go is there.
I don't know either. And
may simply just not be in the plans. But gee, he's playing well.
He is, and that's the other thing too. Like, I think it's probably fair to say he offers a bit more than Star does at the moment. Just in centres, I think Star's actually been pretty solid on the wing, but I'm not looking forward to him moving back to the centres, if I'm honest. So
with Sakura, I wonder, and this is me speculating, I wonder if he's looking good in Cup, but I wonder if he is not or hasn't mastered system play. We know the first grade structures are big on fitting into systems, and oftentimes you'll pick someone you know can fill in a spot or two, but they can fill those roles as per the system that you're trying to create. I wonder if Solomon's not a good fit there because he is hyper versatile. Like, he's played everywhere from prop to fullback to centre to wing. He literally play everywhere. And so for me, from that Macassini conversation earlier, perfect example to put him in the extended 19 as your backs cover, because he can literally cover second row if you needed to, or prop if you had to.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, given his performances, given the fact he's eligible, and given his versatility, if there's not something else there that is causing that to stop.
Has to be. There has to be.
Yeah.
But
Sure. But hopefully there is. He keeps playing well, and that's all you can do. Bang the door down, finish with a late season flurry, and get Benji's attention. Force him.
Because I don't think he's debuted yet, has he?
Sorry,
he hasn't debuted yet, has he?
No, he hasn't even. I don't think Solomon's even been named in
the extended
squad before. Again, that's what makes me think: are they just really keeping him under wraps and keeping him protected, or or are they just see something that they think won't work, or there's flaws that is not? I don't know. I don't know.
I haven't seen a lot of massive flaws in the games that I've watched him play, but again, I'm not a coach, so move on to the ladies. So round 2 ended up going down to the Knights 20-14. Again, it was another slog, but look, it's the Reggies for the NRLW, so it's still trying to find its feet, that game. You know, the players there are still, learning the little intricacies of being a professional rugby league player. So, it was a little sloppy, but ended up being a good watch. And then finally for the boys, the boys, young boys, we went the Jersey flag team ended up beating the Seagulls 32-24 with Logan Brooks again. We've got some stocks at fullback, We got some stocks at fullback. So
I like Logan Brooks. I like his play style. He's a mongrel.
And then I think Tapau Moores ended up backing up from the under-19s as well.
Had a monster of a game too. Because he was underwhelming, I'll be honest, He was early.
He was responsible for a couple of tries too.
Well, at least one on the line, but I saw that in live time. He tackled himself to a standstill. I think he only had 1 or 2 carries in his first stint and just tackled himself silly. And I was like, he looks fatigued, and they went straight at him and straight under him. It was disappointing. But it's a one-off game and rep game. Sometimes it goes your direct or your way, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, well, he ended up scoring a double in the flag game. So,
and was big from memory. So, no, still a great long-term.
Oh yeah, because he's a monster. Hey, in that 19s game, I sat there and went, oh, there he is. Yeah, I can see him. He's right there.
It's also his play style. Like, he goes after the football. He goes after the play on both sides of the footy. He reminds me of a young, more aggressive Saifidi brother.
Oh, I was going to say Payne Haas, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't see him having the motor and the general locomotive power of it. I see him more like a Saifidi. But yeah, anyway, he'll be what he'll be, and he's probably our best prospect from our junior cohort at the moment. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
So that is all the boys. So 50-50 success rate this weekend.
Not too bad. All right, this weekend coming, let's jump into the night's game. Sunday, 28th of June, 4:05 p.m. on Sunday. We're not as far out as I thought. $2.70 with sports bet. Nights into $1.47 at home. We line up as follows. A couple of big ins. Dream Buller, Sania Taruva, Taylor May, Stafford Toa, Gerald Skelton. Jerome Luai and Adam Dewey returns at halfback. Terrell May and Fanua Pole are named at prop. Api Coruscant is the hooker. Suka, Sione Fainu, and Alex Twell returns at lock. Excuse me.
It's a big in. That is a big in.
Excuse me. That was a undeliberate pause, but it worked for you to say that, absolutely. 14 is Jasesi Lenyon. Bunty R4, 15. Alex Safar, 16, who played well on the weekend again, by the way. He was solid. Yep. Latu is 17. Hamasi Makasini, 18. Mav Gaia, who signed with Perth Bears, 19. Javon, Peter Tarteo, and Falatino Tavana round out the extended reserves list. Now, the Knights for this week, I'll just run through their list, are as follows. Ponga is the fullback, Dom Young, Yang Gagai, and Bradman Best are the centres. Marju at 5, Fletcher Sharp at 6, Dylan Brown 7, Jacob Saifidi, Trey Mooney at the props, Phoenix Crosland at 9, Dylan Lucas, Jermaine McEwen, the second rowers, Matt Croker is the lock, Sandon Smith 14, Tyson Frizzell, Cody Hopwood, Thomas Can't, Lachlan Crouch, and Fletcher Hunt is the 19. They're basically full strength, I think, for the most part.
I don't think anyone's missing.
Right. Well, we're missing both of our back rowers. Who else are we missing at the moment?
Our starting centre. Is it? I don't know. Our prop rotate, our impact prop. Actually, we're not really missing that many, are we?
KPP, Samuela, Royce, because Jock Madden's a backup, and this is what I'm saying. Really, Patrick Herbert's a backup, really. In fact, you could argue that with Makasini or Luke in for Skelton, this is our first choice starting back 7.
Yeah.
Which, when you actually go through who the personnel are, that's an interesting turn of events. What I will say, though, is out of those people, Stafford's playing with one elbow. Taylor, Jareem, and Dewey are playing with one shoulder each. I think Jerome's still on one knee. Am I just making excuses at this point?
Yep.
And Jarrell's playing with 2 brain cells. So we'll see how we go. Love you, Jarrell.
Didn't see that come.
Yeah.
It's all in jest. It's all in jest.
All in jest. I love Jarrell Skelton. You know that. Hopefully. I look, the Jarrell Skelton thing, it's got to be a Marju matchup, surely.
Oh, it has to be. But then Dom Young over...
Yeah.
That's the worrying thing. You'd kick to Dom Young's wing every day, wouldn't you?
You would. Is Dom Young, I should say, is more of a speedster like a Saab than he is an aerial threat, though, like a Coates or a Warbrick or something. And now they say that he'll probably score 3 tries from the air, but that always happens. Like headset, Truman Show. I am the Truman Show. Mate, I'll ask you, I'll frame it this way once again. Tell me a reason or two why we will win.
Dewey and Twal.
That's 2.
Well, you said a reason or 2.
Yeah. So specifically, what do those 2 specifically for you? I know there's many things, but what do they bring in?
For me, Twal's inclusion back into the back row just brings that stability in the middle. It brings that cohesion. it also brings, never thought I'd say this about Twal, but it brings an extra threat with his running game. He's got a bit of footwork. He's got these offloads now. He's got a passing game. You know, I hope he has a brain of a game, like I really do. But I hope Laurie just decides that he's going to be a shit prick and not pick him again. Because I don't want him picked. I want us to be full strength. I'm over New South Wales. Who gives a shit? I want us to make the finals. For Dewey, I think it's his leader mentality. You know, we discussed this way back in like 2020 when he joined the club. He was a future captain. The way that he composed himself, the way that he pushed himself, you know, there were definitely times where I'm like, I wanted to see the back of him because of some of the decisions he made and some of the, like, he just wasn't playing to his potential. But I never, ever questioned his passion. I never questioned his leadership. And that's what I think the biggest thing he's going to do is, you know, we talked about Romy the last couple of weeks really taking the club on his back. I don't doubt he's going to do that again, but I think he's going to have a lot of help, and he's going to have a lot of help from Dewey. So, yeah.
Okay. Tell me a reason or two that we can't win or we won't win.
We might be close to full strength, but in terms of injuries and confidence of those injuries, we're not. So I think that there's people playing busted at the moment who aren't playing at 100%, and I think that's going to be exposed. Stafford for one. I watched him. I thought he was playing well at wing because he didn't have to fend. He didn't have to produce those extra numbers that centers generally do. I think he's going up against Bradman, which is scary. And yeah, there's just that the fact that we're not so much down on troops, but we're down on fit troops. So
yeah, I think that against this side, I'm not so worried, touch wood, about the power game and being collapsed through the centre, because I think that with the likes of Twal and Appy back, I think it's going to up our line speed, and I think we'll actually improve in set distance this week. Twal also, let's not forget, is the best carrier of the football off Appy, getting over that advantage line, and often we'll take that carry 4 or 5, which really can help the back end of our sets. So don't be surprised to see our set distance go up by a couple of metres this week, and us, hopefully, if we show up, limit Newcastle's. My big concern is going to be on the edges.
Yep.
Because with Sukar and Sione, we're one small mistake away from things being collapsed. And when you've got the likes of Fletcher Sharp and Kalen and whatnot sniffing around, and then if any opportunities or a half chance get to Young, he's gone. And so I think we need to be really good laterally. I think we need to be really patient from the back's perspective. And I think we need to sort of hold off and slide a fair bit this week. It worries me because Derailed is a jammer. And so if we're going to jam, then we've got an umbrella in behind. So it's a lot of structures this week, and I'm playing patient because Fletcher Sharp can dance and move and pirouette all he wants. If you're sitting back and you're 2-3 metres off him and you're sliding and you're shifting as a unit in front of him, he's not going to go anywhere. Wait until he gets to you, take control into the ground, put him where you want him, allow you guys to get back, and then we'll be okay. So that's where I think the major concern is from my perspective.
Yeah, especially when you got Ponga sweeping around like he does.
Yeah, the other thing too that you mentioned, which can't be understated, is that, yeah, we might have these guys on paper, but what percentage are they playing at? And yeah, a case of if you pick the first grade, you get out there and you give it a go. But if you're not functional, if you're protecting something, you're not going to be at your best. That back 7 at our best is hard to handle, just as hard as Newcastle's. My concern that you raised is 100% true. How much are people going to be nursing certain injuries, and how many half removals of effort or risk will they then be less inclined to take? If Dewey gets to the line for a match-winning try or a game-changing try, and to get there he needs to reach out a la the Sharks game and slam his left shoulder down on the ground in the hopes of getting the try, is he going to be reluctant? Is there a certain pass that requires a certain bit of sort of dexterity from the angle that if he gets it, we win the game, and he can't quite get it? So these are the little areas that at the moment we don't seem to be winning. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out.
Yeah.
Give us a score line and a bold prediction for me.
I'm going to be hopeful. And I'm going to say that the inclusion of Dewey does change things, especially with our long kicking games and getting field position. So I'm actually going to say we're going to win because I'm putting a voodoo doll out on Kalen Ponga and he's going to do a syndesmosis injury. It's going to help. What?
I wish injuries on people.
It's only syndesmosis. It's not career ending.
Do it behind the scenes. Don't do it on the show.
Nah, it's not career ending. It's fine.
Our club has not been good with football gods this year, remember?
Yeah. I'm playing with fire and I know it. And I'm going to say it's going to be something on the lines of 26-8.
Bold prediction?
I am going to eat my words, and Stafford Toa is going to have a game like Stafford Toa used to. 2 tries, 2 try assists.
On Bradman.
On Bradman.
I think that's right, isn't it? Bradman plays on the left.
I think so, yeah.
He's going to be playing on the right.
Yeah, I think Gagai's on the right. Oh, no, maybe Gagai's on the left.
The sides confuse me with some.
Yeah, I know.
Because you see them play on both sides. Bradman will often play on the left. I remember him.
Oh, and another bold prediction. Dane Gagai is going to have a brain explosion and get sin-binned.
That'd be good. We could use it. We could use some luck go our way. Not necessarily an injury or two, but geez, a couple of decisions like some brain dead play. But to your point, from a Gagai or someone that just allows us to pile on the points. Like, just give us something.
Yes, please.
We're due something, surely.
Absolutely.
For me, you pressure Dylan Brown all day and you can get the win. He's going to be their primary kicker in a team of 2 5/8s. Pressure everything out of him, particularly around the kicking game. You can limit their kicking game. You can do a lot for possession and territory. And I think with Dewey, we're a far better side at converting possession and territory to points. And I think that's the big ticket item for me. I'm optimistic too. I think it's a big upset if we get it, but I'm going to call that we do. I'm going to say it's off the back of Dewey's inclusion, and I'm going to basically, we won't seem like we're back, but I think we're going to look back-ish with Dewey in the side, and I think we're actually going to jump out to a surprising 20 or 22-0 lead, and then just going to have to hang on. 28-18 is the final score with Newcastle coming back at us. But I think we're going to see straight away what we've missed in Dewey, and it's a lot more across the board than what people have even thought, to be honest.
Especially me. Start of the year, I wasn't like, couldn't care.
Namely, with the ball, it's the running threat that Jock hasn't had and the long kicking game.
Yeah.
I think those are going to prove to be game changers.
Absolutely.
28-18.
Yeah, what's your bold prediction?
Anything else? Oh, well, that was it. That Dewey was going to be, first game back, was going to basically prove to be the difference.
Yep.
1 try, 2 try assists.
Cool.
Big call. He's been out for 2 months. First game back.
I don't think confidence has ever been a problem with him.
True. Fair enough. Anything else you want to add about that night's game before we sail off?
Nah, but they've been on a bit of a run. I think they're due for a bit of an off game. So let's just hope that's this week.
Fingers crossed. They've been playing well. They're like a Canberra of last year. They're just a side that have just put it all together, and all of their players are playing in career best form, but they're all playing good footy at the same time. Sometimes it happens. Yeah. On paper, it still isn't impressive, but they're just playing good footy. So good luck to them. In some ways, you don't mind seeing sides overperform unless it's Canterbury.
I was about to say, you hate other teams' success. Who is this?
I hate every other team, but I'm trying to put some sort of positivity into the universe so I get something paid back, mate. I'm scraping the barrel here.
You're doing as much karma work as you can.
Trying. On that note, all West Tigers media is good media in our eyes. Get on over and follow West Tigers TV and the West Tigers podcast, the OG, the original West Tigers podcast. Don't forget about them, please. Good people. The Ambush on Facebook and westtigersforum.com. Thank you to our sponsor, Best on Ground Digital. Best on Ground Digital, the digital marketing agency. Like that enunciation.
It's good.
Looks after the little guy. They will not steer you wrong. bestongrounddigital.com. Big supporters of the show. Thank you once again to them. Mate, look, round 17, we're right in the meat and potatoes of the year. We're 7-7, and people are forgetting that. It seems like it's been a bit backwards since our 5-2 start, but we're 7-7. And I think in some ways, if we had spoken to people before the season had started and spoken about how many people were injured and how long they'd been out, and then offered them 7-7, what percentage of Tigers fans do you think would take that?
Probably all of them,
myself
included.
I reckon it's mighty high. Yeah.
I think, yeah. Also, you asked me not last week, the week before, if we don't make the finals, is it a fail? And I said yes. In hindsight, I'm wrong with everything that's happened to us.
Well, look, if the season has sort of taught us anything, 8 weeks ago was round 9.
Yep.
And we were flying. So heading in post round 8, heading into that Sharks game, we were absolutely cooking, as it were, at 5-2. So in 8 weeks' time, it'll be round 25. We'll still have a couple of rounds to go. So a lot can happen in 2 months, my friend.
Fingers crossed. Like, we just need something good to happen to us. Like, it's been a rough trot, eh?
You know who we're missing now that we've got Dewey back and the other crew back? You know who we really need back and we've missed is Sam.
Yeah.
Sam's the guy.
Oh yeah, he's the moments man.
Yeah, he is.
That's his nickname, is Moments Man.
Sam and Dewey, they win the moments, and moments win games. We've seen that. Like, I reckon this year more than ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And those two out at the same time. Yeah, we've not won any moments.
Yeah, I agree. Until maybe Jerome, like against the Titans.
Yeah,
sheer will and determination. But in this game of momentum, like winning those moments compounds so much that you look back and you go, one or two small things happened back here at the 23rd minute, and next minute you're 36-4 down. And it can happen like that. It doesn't happen to all teams because not all teams are so susceptible and vulnerable, but it can happen, and we need them back. So starts this weekend.
Yep.
We are the underdog. Not expecting to win, but I'm hoping so.
Absolutely.
All right, mate. On that note, nothing more to say. Sunday afternoon footy. Fingers crossed for a good one. Hope the boys show up. Welcome back, Dewey and Twally. And go the mighty West Tigers.
Up the West Tigers.